Have you ever tried creating stop motion animation just to be frustrated with the final result? There's 5 common mistakes that most beginning stop motion animators make. But fear not, I have the solution for you! Let's start with mistake number 1. Number 1, not easing in and out properly. I'm sure you know what easing in and out is if you've watched other stop motion tutorials or just animation tutorials in general. But basically, it's how you make any movement look smooth and realistic. Let me show you an example.
Alright guys, here we are. I made this little animation right here just for this tutorial, so let's get right into it. At the beginning of a movement, you want to ease into it with small increments of movement like this. See how it's easing into the movement? Small, small, big, smaller, small, and now he's going in for the punch. So he starts out with a very small increment, and then big because I wanted this punch to be very impactful. One thing I should mention is you don't want to use easing in and out too much. Like for certain movements that you want to be very impactful, you want to have bigger increments of movement, like for example this punch. So I only took 1 frame of easing in for this punch, and then big, big, and then after the contact frame you want to ease out of the punch. Small, small. So easing into the punch, the speed picks up, boom, ease out, ease out. Okay, now let's look at the guy that gets punched. After that frame of contact between the other guy's fist and his chest, you want that punch to look impactful. So his first frame after he gets punched, the increment of movement is big. Let's see how it looks. As you can see, when the guy lands, I make his head bounce up and down. Because when you hit the floor, you bounce up and back down. And then I also added a small detail of his hat falling off and kind of sliding down. With easing in and out properly, your animations will look so much better.
Number 2, lighting. Without proper lighting, your stop motion will have a lot of light flickering, and that might frustrate you because your video will look very bad. Also, with proper lighting, you can convey certain emotions in your films that might make it more engaging and interesting to watch. You can also direct the audience's attention to specific elements within your video with lighting. Here are some of my very first stop motions that I still cringe at every time I watch them. It's hell to watch them, but I'm putting myself through it for you. I am a hero.
Notice the light flicker in this piece of shit of a brick film. I put 0 thought into the lighting. All I did was animate random funny shit. But at the beginning, that's all you really gotta do anyways. In this one, the lighting is just too harsh. I didn't know about diffusion or any of that shit. So I just let the light screw my entire brick film up.
Prepare to get your teeth knocked in.
Ha 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 ha.
I am so sorry to have to put you through that pure cringe, but you had to bear that burden to learn our little lesson today. Anyways, let me show you how to solve the problem of bad lighting and light flicker. Let's get right into this shit. First of all, natural light is a big no-no. Shut out all natural light. Close your curtains, do anything you can to keep the sun from getting in and trying to destroy your stop motion. Close all that shit. Fuck you, light. I'm sorry. Now that we've gotten rid of that abominable natural light trying to ruin your badass stop motion, let's continue with the lesson. You want to use lamps. Now, don't worry if you only have one lamp. I've heard of people using only one lamp and their stop motions look amazing. I use 2 lamps. I was using only one at first, but let me show you exactly how to light your stop motion. What the freaking fuck? Let's put down our subject, metal bricks. Okay, so basically you want to have one light on the subject, which is metal bricks, and then one lighting the background. And then ideally you would want to have a third light to fill in the shadows, but not everybody can afford 3 lamps. So you just kind of have to play around with it a little bit to see what works for you and what looks the best. But basically you just want to make sure that you have no natural light or any kind of light that will change. You need to be very careful when you're animating not to bump the lamp. I've done that so many times and got pestered. But yeah, that's it. If you only have one lamp, a trick I've seen is taking something white like a piece of paper or a Lego brick and using it to reflect that light back, and it illuminates the subject better. Now that you've got your lamps ready, you want to diffuse your lights, and basically what that means is putting a piece of diffusion paper over them to make the light less harsh and softer. So let me show you how to do that. There is special kinds of diffusion paper, but you don't need that if you can't afford it. All you need is any piece of white paper that is not too thick. So you don't want it to block the whole light. You just want it to make it softer. So you just tape it over the light like this. To make it softer. And now it looks good. And now that will keep the light from looking too bright. Your lighting will look so much better like this. Number 3, not securing the set or the camera. Some beginners forget to do this, which is why it shakes and moves around so much and ruins your animation. It makes you want to smash everything in your vicinity and start screaming and growling like a psycho that just did a bunch of crap. But there's an easy fix. Just get yourself some sticky tack. It's cheap and very, very useful. Sticky tack will become your new best friend. It will help you with all kinds of things in your stop motion journey. There's a lot of good brands, but my favorite is Gorilla. You can pick them up at Walmart or local Dollar General or probably at any kind of store that has a hardware section. Easy. All you gotta do is stick some on your phone mount, unless you're using a tripod, of course, so you won't need to do that. And then put some on your base plate or whatever kind of set you are using, and then boom, easy fix. Accidentally bump it, it ain't going nowhere. Accidentally bump the base plate, ain't going nowhere. See that? Boom, easy fix. A lot of beginners don't practice proper camera angle techniques, but I'm going to show you how to take your storytelling to the next level with the right camera angle techniques.
Alright, let's hop into this. camera angle technique tutorial. The first one we're going to cover is the eye level shot. This is a neutral shot taken from roughly the same height as the subject's eye line. It creates a sense of normalcy and allows viewers to see things from the character's perspective. For example, if you are telling a story through the character's perspective, you want to use the eye level shot a lot to tell that character's story. The next one we're going to cover is the low angle shot. This is a low angle shot. The camera is positioned below the subject looking up. This makes the subject appear larger than life, powerful, or even intimidating. So let's say like there's a powerful villain. You want to use low angles to make them appear intimidating. On the other hand, there's a high angle shot. The shot looks down on the subject. This can make them seem vulnerable, powerless, or insignificant. Character that you want to portray as weaker, you want to use this high angle shot to make them seem like a small, scared piece of trash. The shot I use a lot for just dialogue scenes is this one, where it is faced on their chest or at eye level, you know. Another thing I should say is always use the guides. As you can see up here on the screen, I have guides on at all times. It helps a lot with your framing, keeping attention on the subject. That's something I do a lot. When you're shooting a dialogue scene, a nice thing about having the guides on is so it can help you keep the subjects in the position that you want them to be. For example, right here, I usually have this the two. I keep their heads in this, side center boxes, so the attention is directed towards both of the subjects. I fucking suck at talking, man. These are just a couple camera angle techniques, but if you I can always make a more in-depth video of camera angles in the future if you want that. Let's move on to mistake number 5.
Number 5, no story. You can get away without a story in certain kind of videos, but if you really want to make them better and more engaging and fun to watch, having a good story is going to take your video to the next level. Let's get to it!
Let's take a look at my most recent video, My Dad Could Beat Up Your Dad. The main idea of this video was to have a fight between two dads, but how did it lead up to that? That's where the story comes in. One kid is getting bullied, which leads to the argument, my dad could beat up your dad. And that's where the fight between the two dads begins, because of an argument between two little shits. Basically, you want to take the main idea that you want to explore in your video and come up with a story around it. This video doesn't have like a super deep story, it's not very long either. It doesn't have to be something like super deep or long, you just have to tell a story. Start with a broad brainstorming session to generate ideas. Think about themes, messages, or unique scenarios that you want to explore and choose a unique concept. Pick an idea that excites you and offers something unique. Consider how the tactile, physical nature of stop motion can enhance that story. Create characters with distinct personalities, goals, and flaws. Their design and movements should reflect their traits. Ensure your characters undergo development throughout the story. They should face challenges that lead growth or change. And that's just the basics of storytelling. I can get more in depth on that in another video, but that's it for now.
Just to recap everything we've talked about today, these are the 5 common mistakes. not easing in and out properly, lighting, not securing the camera, poor camera angles, and no story. Use all the tips that I have talked about today to take your stop motion animations to the next to take your stop motion animations to the next level. I hope this tutorial helped you guys in some way. If you guys want more videos like this, hit that like button, subscribe, let me know in the comment section what kind of things that you're struggling with in your stop motions. And I will do my best of my damned ability to help you guys take your stop motions to the next level. Also, I encourage you to share your own experiences with stop motion in the comments below. When did you start? How long did it take you to learn certain skills? And where are you at in your journey right now? If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. Go check out this video. And that's all for today. Leave a like, hit that subscribe button. Peace!